What did Taylor Swift really gain by endorsing Kamala Harris? And was it worth it? Backlash from fans and the public, hate from Donald Trump,
and you'll probably pay a price for it,
and a declaration of war from right-wing media.
F you, Taylor Swift.
Look what you made her do. Hey there, I'm Blake. Was anyone actually surprised who she endorsed? No. So why were you all so worked up about it? Coming up in this video, I will outline why Taylor's political endorsements are now doing more harm than good. I think that's very clear at this point. Reaction and fallout from fans and the media. And what's at stake here? I mean, this threatens to bring down Taylor Swift's entire global brand that she has worked so hard to build. And it's war. Right-wing media has declared a, quote, holy war against Taylor Swift, and why I think she was bullied into endorsing. I'll show you my evidence. We are at a crisis point with Taylor's politics era. I think there is a way out where she can stay in politics and still have the same influence that she has today without being forced to do endorsements. But there's a small window to get her out of these endorsements, and I'll explain that coming up. Let's start though with the Swift reaction and fallout. Almost immediately after Taylor endorsed Kamala, social media exploded.
Taylor Swift told me to register to vote.
Some were burning their Taylor Swift vinyls.
Cat lady like her.
And there was even this guy who spent $4,000 at an auction to buy a signed Taylor Swift guitar, only to smash it with a hammer to the cheers of the crowd. The media reaction was overwhelming, and depending on who you listen to, it was either the biggest endorsement you could ever get in the history of the world.
She's a cultural icon. She breaks through in ways none of us fully appreciate.
She commands so much popularity among her super fans. They've changed the NFL.
This is, I think, the most important celebrity endorsement we've ever seen.
Or it means absolutely nothing. Taylor needs to shut up and sing, and it may have even worked against Kamala.
I'm allowed to criticize Taylor Swift, and I don't give a who gets upset. F you, Taylor Swift.
If it was unexpected, I'd say, oh boy, yeah, it does move the needle, but we knew this was coming all along, so.
I don't give a damn what you think politically. You're not going to move me one way or another. What makes you think that the way you think should influence other people? You sing for a living. Just deal with that.
The reality is, I think it's going to be very hard to tell what the Taylor Swift effect was. And I think that was on purpose. I think that goes into the timing of when Taylor Swift did it, right? By announcing her endorsement right after the debate ended, what she did there was make it impossible for pollsters and the media to take a look at any point in time and say, oh, that's the Taylor Swift effect. Can't do it. Kamala had a great debate that night. You're not going to be able to see what the Taylor Swift effect was or what was Kamala's great debate. So on the one hand, it denies the media the ability to just run with endless stories about what is the Taylor Swift effect in politics, but it also does not allow them to disprove that there is no Taylor Swift effect in politics. You won't be able to separate it. You won't be able to tell. So it protects Taylor's brand as well, because it allows the mystique to still exist and the potential for Taylor Swift to have a big sway if she does want to continue having influence going forward. So brilliant play doing it there. Trump himself wasted no time going on Fox and Friends.
I was not a Taylor Swift fan. It was just a question of time. She's a very liberal person. She seems to always endorse a Democrat, and she'll probably pay a price for it at in the marketplace. Was Trump right? There's a new NBC News poll out that was taken after the endorsement was made. It shows Taylor Swift's popularity has taken a big hit. The same time last year, Taylor got 40% positive rating, 16% negative. So that's how people view her. So the difference there is plus 24 favorability, right? That is excellent. Well, politics brought her right back down to earth, because take a look at the latest poll right after the endorsements, 33% positive now. So look at the negatives. They spiked 27%. And if we dig a little deeper here by political party, you can see she actually made some gains with Democrats, but it was not enough to offset the sharp declines in how independents and Republicans felt about Taylor Swift. Her own fan base is fiercely divided over this. It may not be 50-50, but they are divided. A Facebook page that I follow, 500,000 followers on this Facebook page, pulled down all the posts and banned any discussion of the endorsement or politics. That's how nasty it got, how divisive it got. What we're seeing here is that Taylor Swift has polarized her brand. Many brands are polarized, but that's not how Taylor Swift got to where she is. And we'll dive a little deeper into that coming up in just a second. And while we don't know the impact of a Taylor Swift endorsement and what it really means, there's no way to prove it, right? We do know 400,000 people logged on to vote.org in the 24 hours after Taylor put a link with her endorsement on her Instagram story. 5 times the normal amount this far out from an election. That is the power of Taylor Swift, I think, right? How far and wide and loud her voice reaches. To highlight that, I'm going to let foreign media from around the world lead us into Trump's
meltdown, just to show you how big, once you put a name like Donald Trump and Taylor Swift together, how wide and far it goes. Everyone in the world was talking about it.
Y seguimos hablando de Donald Trump porque sucedió algo que llamó la atención.
Son soutien a Kamala Harris, les Swifties, les fans de Taylor Swift.
Y vamos a otro tema, el martes Kamala Harris.
Vámonos a de Taylor Swift. Lo disfruté porque
the childless cat lady and her support for Kamala Harris seem to have really got to Trump.
La réplique de Donald Trump, I hate Taylor Swift, je déteste Taylor Swift.
The post immediately went viral, mostly at Trump's expense. Many invoked the title of Taylor Swift's song, The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived.
Angry old man attacks America's sweetheart is unlikely to be a hugely successful campaign strategy.
Now let's talk about what's really at stake here, because Taylor Swift is not just a singer, she is a global brand. And Taylor Swift's brand has been Big Ten inclusion. Everyone's welcome. And she does that by never speaking negatively about anyone, anything, any place. She does not speak negatively for fear of dividing or offending. She doesn't do it. She is a people pleaser who wants everyone to love her, and any whiff of criticism, she works very hard to course correct. When environmentalists thought she was flying her private jet too much, she donated double the carbon offsets. When fringe lunatics on the internet thought her new anti-hero video was fat-phobic, she didn't say a word. She edited the video. When people say she's dating too many guys, well, she stops hanging out with guys publicly, hangs out with only girls. Then people say, you know, her squad, they look too popular, not relatable. Taylor gets rid of the squad, puts on frumpy clothes, and walks alone into the woods. Like, this is a woman who has spent her entire career trying to please people and make everyone happy and not offend. Get everyone to love her. I want to highlight Argentina for you. I'm choosing this country because it's not an English-speaking country. A lot of Spanish-speaking countries prefer Spanish music, understandably. So her fame down there is even more remarkable. And the Eras Tour was the first time she had ever set foot in the country. This is the largest stadium in all of South America. 200,000 tickets sold over 3 nights. There were 2.4 million on the wait list. She could have sold it out 40 more times just from the wait list. Fans camped out for months in advance, sleeping in tents to get first entry into that stadium and run up and be as close to the stage as possible. If we zero in on a song here, this just shows you the depth of their fandom, right? They're not just jumping on a wave of popularity here. You Belong With Me, a song from her second album, which I know wasn't big down there at the time. They went back and learned the lyrics after becoming fans, and they know every single word.
All right, Argentina, are you ready to go back to high school with me?
That does not happen overnight, and it does not happen by accident. And Taylor Swift built this brand that is now bigger than politics. It transcends international borders and generations of people. Why risk that with endorsements? Why divide now? Why take sides now when you can accomplish the same thing without doing that? And I'll show you how. So I think to understand where we're at right now, we need to go back to where this all began, the start of Taylor's political journey, which was 2018, the midterm elections, where she endorsed 2 candidates for House and Senate in her home state of Tennessee.
Taylor Swift comes out against Trump.
I don't care if they write that. I'm sad that I didn't 2 years ago, but I can't change that. I need to be on the right side of history.
So those endorsements in 2018 were really born out of remorse or regret from not endorsing Hillary in 2016. If you want to be a cynic, you can say even that she did it only after backlash. Until then, she had played it safe. At the same time in 2016, stars like Lady Gaga, Madonna, Beyonce and Jay-Z were holding concerts and rallies with Hillary. Gosh, Katy Perry and Miley Cyrus even traveled to swing states to door knock at college dorms. The music industry especially was all in for Hillary, and Taylor was nowhere to be found. This photo on Election Day was the extent of Taylor's political activism, reminding people to vote. It was the most liked photo on Instagram that day, showing that playing it safe has its advantages. No one thought Trump would win, but he did. And fans were pissed. They thought she could have done more. Why didn't she? Is she secretly a Republican, or does she just not care? Pressure would continue building over the next few years with the rise of the Me Too movement, the women's marches, and the Kavanaugh Supreme Court hearings that happened right before the 2018 midterm elections. There was not a time in this country to say, I'm just going to keep my political opinions to myself, which is what she had been saying her entire career. Taylor had also just testified in her own sexual assault trial against a Colorado DJ who groped her during a photo op. She won and was named a Time Magazine Person of the Year in 2017 as one of the silence breakers. It's hard to stay silent after that. Felt the pressure. And I think she came out and decided to course correct, maybe overcorrect, for 2016 by endorsing those two candidates in her hometown of Nashville in 2018. Both went on to lose, by the way. So the question over how influential her endorsement is still very much up for debate. Then 2020 comes around. Taylor's already on the record as anti-Trump, so this was kind of an easy one. She gets to make up for 2016 here with Trump now on the ballot. She goes all in for Biden-Harris, right? This is the same time that her documentary is coming out. So I want to point out that not only did Taylor go all in, it wasn't just an Instagram post. She was tweeting some very political tweets and outlining the case against Trump. Where this time she didn't say anything about Trump. You know, she just made the case for Kamala and Tim Walz. So she's already started to soften her political approach just since 2020. But she does endorse. She goes all in on them. They end up winning. Yay! Taylor wins. The 2022 midterms come around, by the way. No one cared that she didn't endorse anyone then. Then we get to 2024. We now know the Harris-Walz campaign was not given a heads up ahead of time. And despite that, you can see here Kamala Harris at a rally right after the debate, and they play The Man as her walk-off music. That was a quick change. Good on her staff there. And within an hour, they had friendship bracelets up on their website for sale, a limited edition t-shirt, both sold out very quickly. And within a day or two, they had digital billboards up in Times Square and in Vegas, ready for it and Kamala's era. So all in all, I thought the campaign did a great job capitalizing on that moment despite zero help from Taylor Swift's team. That's the first sign that I don't think this was planned or going to happen. Because if you're Taylor Swift and you really care about Kamala getting elected, wouldn't you want to coordinate with the campaign to make sure your timing and messaging is correct and you're not stepping on the campaign's toes in any way? And also that the campaign's ready to capitalize on the moment, right? With enough friendship bracelets, ready to post things on the website, have a fundraiser going. Nothing. She didn't even take a new photo. Now, it does fit with the, childless cat lady sign off at the end, but this is a reused photo from the Time Person of the Year shoot from last year. So I actually see no evidence here that this had been planned for more than a day. I don't think she had any intention of endorsing this time around. One, because she's already on the record supporting Kamala on the last ticket with Biden and Harris, and I don't think anyone is surprised about where she stands after making it clear in that documentary, where she stands on the issues, and she's already on the record being anti-Trump. So I think that she was going to try to take this as her way out and not endorse because she saw the headwinds that these endorsements had brought before. I want to show you, because if you don't watch conservative news, you probably haven't seen a lot of this, but it has been a right-wing smear campaign in anticipation of the 2024 election, building up to just the possibility that Taylor might open her mouth about politics. This is all from earlier this year when Biden was still the nominee.
Taylor Swift hasn't said a word about the upcoming presidential election, but she is very much at the center of it.
Right-wing media figures are bashing the superstar morning and night.
Please don't believe everything Taylor Swift says. We're all begging you.
The devil surely owns her soul.
It is absolutely incumbent upon us to punish that bitch.
Trump's campaign staff have been brainstorming different ways to go after Swift.
Quote-unquote holy war on Taylor Swift.
Can you believe that? All that before you've even opened your mouth about politics. Just because you've endorsed in the past and might endorse this time. Fox News has really just been zeroing in on Taylor for a long time with some wild stories, too. Speculating that she might be a Pentagon asset?
What kind of asset? A psyop for combating online misinformation.
It is possible that Taylor Swift, quite frankly, does not know that she is being utilized in a covert manner to swing voters.
My favorite is the disclaimer that they put with it.
So is Swift a front for a covert political agenda? Primetime obviously has no evidence. If we did, we'd share it. But we're curious.
Any other news organization? I work for NBC. That would have been where the story stops, not starts. Like, if there's no evidence and it's not a thing, then it would, no. Even more recent than the PSYOP, which I'd never even heard of, was their freak out over a photo that Taylor posted with a silhouette of what appears to be a woman in a pantsuit behind her. And they thought, oh my God, is it Kamala Harris? Is she subliminally messaging us?
Why can't she go to a concert without that? She can vote any kind of way she wants. She can talk about it off stage. But when people pay to see you, just perform. Whoever it is wearing a suit. And I don't know, maybe is there a song where she sings, I went to the corporate office?
If only they had a research department, or as she states at the beginning of her segment, a 16-year-old daughter who's a huge Taylor Swift fan, to call and ask, they would have known that, yeah, there is a song like that. Taylor even climbs the corporate ladder to really drive the point home. But I don't think they want to know the truth. They don't care about the truth. It's not about that, right? You become a target for attacks from the other side, period. Whether it's true or not. Fox News doesn't care if that story's true. It's the television version of clickbait. They know that her name gets eyeballs, and now politics gives them a reason to talk about her.
Yeah, that's real.
And you may think, who cares, right? No one believes this nonsense. Think again. A recent poll found 1 in 5 Americans believes that PSYOP story is true. 1 in 5. 71% of all Republicans, 83% of Trump supporters.
Why are you in a suit?
Pressure of a different kind was building from mainstream media and the left, flooded with stories about Taylor Swift saving the election for Joe Biden. Some even put it on her to save the free world. My goodness. Politico even wondered whether she could deliver Florida for Democrats since the Eras Tour would be there right before the election. Having grown tired of waiting, some Swifties organized Swifties for Kamala, raising $100,000.
We have no doubt she will endorse her when the time is right.
All of this created a frenzy and mounting pressure for Taylor Swift to say something. Now, it all reached a fever pitch on Sunday, 2 days before the presidential debate when Taylor endorsed Kamala. She went to the U.S. Open and hugged Brittany Mahomes. There had been talk of a feud going into this. Maybe they didn't get along anymore because of their politics. Mahomes being an apparent Trump supporter. So here they are hugging it out in front of the cameras, and boy, did this little PR stunt backfire. They put to rest any talk of a feud, but launched a war because Swifties were not happy with this hug. One person writing, Taylor Swift hugging known Trump supporter, sexual assault apologist, racist, and transphobe Brittany Mahomes. These are Swifties writing. Is Taylor MAGA? One asks. And this person writing, Taylor, I love you, but whatever comes from this, I can't defend you on. I'm sorry.
She did find herself running into a PR nightmare, which kind of left her fans in disarray and very enraged online. We're very keen for her to kind of clear this up.
This is probably as close as Taylor gets to being canceled ever. This person posting, hey, Taylor, you dropped this. Her spine. Calling her spineless. Many pointed to Taylor's own 2020 documentary to explain why this hug was so problematic, especially while staying silent on the current election. Choosing to put out Miss Americana when she thought her career was going to start declining, only to abandon those causes once your career has reached unimaginable heights, makes it seem like she only cared when she needed the attention. This is part of the reason we're so upset. I don't expect a billionaire to lead the revolution or anything. I'm just confused as to why one would make a movie about standing up for what's right at any cost, only to literally never stand for anything again. 250,000 likes. This person saying if Taylor didn't want fans to be upset about this kind of behavior, she should have never made a big deal about her politics. We are literally just holding her to her word. So this was well thought out criticism, it was fair criticism, and from her own fans. It had the potential to do some long-lasting damage to Taylor's carefully crafted public image. So simply put, I think Taylor saved herself, and I think that helps explain why the Harris Walls campaign was not given a heads up. There was no coordination, no new photo taken. This was not about helping the Harris Walls campaign at all. It was about saving Taylor Swift amid a revolt against her fan base. And it worked. This Swiftie says, wish we could turn back time where she didn't hug that Britney girl a few days ago, but we love Taylor for this. If Kamala gets a boost out of it, great. But I don't think it was the intention, and I don't think Taylor had any intention of endorsing at all in this election until it benefited her. Now, in her announcement, she cites the deep fake of her endorsing Trump as the reason that she came out and endorsed Kamala, because this was reposted by Trump on his social media. I'm going to read this to you because this is where I think she alludes to the fact that she was not going to endorse. She says, recently I was made aware that AI of me falsely endorsing Donald Trump's presidential run was posted to his site. It really conjured up my fears around AI and the dangers of spreading misinformation. It brought me to the conclusion that I need to be very transparent about my actual plans for this election as a voter. It brought me to the conclusion. That to me says she was never going to tell us who she was voting for. She was already backing off of it. I think Taylor felt backed into a corner. Yes, the AI thing, as she says, I'll take her at her word there. But then the fans online just becoming so rabid over this issue. Who the hell are any of us to demand anything of Taylor Swift, especially outside of music? I'm sorry. This is where I just disagree with a lot of people. Yes, Taylor has a voice, and she has a responsibility, I suppose, to use that voice when she feels fit. But when she feels fit, we don't own these celebrities. We don't get to dictate what comes out of their mouth. She is her own person. She can make her own decisions and doesn't need to do anything for anyone if she doesn't want to, especially outside of entertainment. I'll let Taylor have a little bit of a word here. I don't think it's any mistake that this Torture Poets song was chosen for the Eras Tour setlist and is the first song she performs live. I think this is her way of venting and saying what she can't say to fans directly. So what can Taylor do next? Well, I think she's already following the game plan, actually, which is focus on the issues. Focus on the issues that she cares about, coupled with continued voter registration push. And you get all the benefits there of being influential in politics without any of the drawbacks that come with endorsements. Right now, I would say we have a Trump precedent with her endorsements, right? She's always been going against Trump. That invites a window of opportunity here to stop doing endorsements. Now that Trump won't be on the ballot anymore going forward, it's her way out. And I think the way that she does it, I'm sure Tree Payne, her publicist, the redhead who's always with her, if you don't know, I think this is probably already planned. But I think next year in 2025, we will see an interview come out. And in the middle of the interview, I don't even think it'll be the basis of the interview. In the middle, she'll drop in there that she's not going to be endorsing candidates anymore. She decided it's better for her to focus on the issues that she cares about and won't be making any further endorsements, but she will continue to push people to be engaged in the voting process, basically the game plan we just talked about and that she's already doing, and that'll be her way out. It would be smart, and I think she's already shown that that's what she is planning to do just after the endorsement, the next night at the VMAs. She won 7 VMAs, so she had a lot of acceptance speeches to to give, and didn't mention Kamala's name once.
I appreciate it so much, and if you are over 18, please register to vote for something else that's very important coming up, the 2024 presidential election. I love you all so much. Thank you for this moment.
And you get all the benefits there then of being influential in politics without any of the drawbacks that come with endorsements. Just by focusing on the issues, it'll be clear who she's voting for in most elections. This photo with the queens from RuPaul's Drag Race is hugely influential in a more subtle way that does not invite direct criticism, because it shows what she believes, right? And normalizes drag queens. She doesn't have to come out in defense of Drag Time Story Hour. We see it. And I think that is where her power lies. And it's a much bigger power than any endorsement could ever bring. In the end, Taylor's political problem is fixable, but I think she has to act quickly, and I think we're already seeing it. Let me know what you think, though. Do you think I'm right on this or totally off base? You can tell me I'm full of, but be respectful in the comment section, and let's have a productive discussion on this, because I don't think there's anywhere good to go from here for Taylor with political endorsements. Sound off, let me know what you think. Also, I'd appreciate it if you could throw this video a like and subscribe if you want for more content at the intersection of media, politics, and pop culture, with a heavy emphasis on Taylor Swift. Till next time.